Now, I have told you, that you exist inside a womb, a field of determination. I have told you, the womb of all worlds, has a thin skin layer, forming a bubble. And the bubble, of every world you perceive now, exists within the big bubble, of the dark cosmos. So, how is it possible, to escape the bubble of this world, and the bubble of the dark cosmos? How do you enter the lighted oceans above, where the spirit of airs facilitate whatever you desire and imagine, all around you, instantly? How do you escape the spirit of airs inside this world, where the imagery one perceives in a dream, is appointed by the internet of the earth's spirit? How can your spirit escape this field of darkness, into the second resurrection? Forget what the Bible says about resurrection. The Bible offers a handful of truth, and 2 handfuls of lies. I don't speak about the lies, just the truth. The truth is, the first resurrection does not take 3 days, it is instantaneous. Just before you give up the last breath of your body, you immediately hover above, and this is why. You are currently made of soils, and these elements are magnetically attracted to the surface of this world, and for as long as you exist, as a composition of physical soils, you will remain inside this world. The fields of gravity inside this world are quite simple. The field below you pulls you back to the surface, while the fields above, at the highest levels, are the bubbles within this world that push you back down to the surface. The fields in the highest level are oscillating, so in order to leave this world, one would not be able to do so by leaving in a straight direction, but in curves. The highest fields toss physical matter left and right, and ultimately try to push matter back down to the surface below. You may have heard, scientists don't know where a falling satellite will return, and this is the reason why. In between the 2 magnetic fields exists a field of no gravity, where satellites, telescopes and space weaponry remain above, but the field of concern is the very airs you take for granted. The soils that produced and maintain your body now have a natural magnetic attraction to the soils below. And the speck of air that fashioned you from nothing, being your spirit, also has a natural magnetic attraction to the airs around you. This is why you hover above the body after separation, or what you believe to be death. Throughout the ages of this human chapter, a spirit will seek to experience another physical existence within the environment of another body, time and time again. The process of reincarnation is very real. Many of you have been here for a very, very, very long time. See if you can catch on to the secret in this message. It is the response given when humans ask the man called Jesus when they would know the end of days are upon them. As it is written in Matthew chapter 24, verses 32 to 35, "Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. Truly I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened." The words "this generation" is a reference to this human chapter, and are a confirmation that those spirits who existed in other bodies back then will also exist here in new bodies when division occurs. There are priests who are trained to deceive and would challenge what I state as interpretation. These same priests might claim this video is too negative and misses the message of love and forgiveness, and I would respond aggressively. If a priest wants to talk love, to talk forgiveness, to talk beauty, then I dare to challenge the priest. First, let's discuss the violence throughout the Bible, especially the violence commanded by the fictional God. Humans in a courthouse would care less to hear about how loving a person is if they are charged with mass murder. Humans would focus on the murders before hearing about the good character of the murderer. The same applies now. Until priests can openly discuss the murderous mentality of the God they preach, and continue to ignore these injustices, then any attempts to promote love is a mere act of intentional deception. Until priests can learn proper prayer, rather than praying to lords of the underworld, until the priests can speak the words spoken by the man called Jesus, and not what other writers said about Jesus, They are just deceiving the masses. Jesus, as he is today called, never came to bring peace, but a sword, to execute division, as stated, in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10 verse 34, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth, I came not to send peace, but a sword." And this is again, reaffirmed in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 51, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division." Let's also not forget, how Jesus, from his own mouth, calls officials and authorities, as the children of the devil, as seen in the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 44. And don't forget, how Jesus, said to hate all that are human, including your loved ones and yourself, in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 14, verse 26. So, when you hear someone promoting John 3:16, saying Jesus died for humanity, remember, this did not come from the lips of Jesus. John 8:44 and Luke 14:26 are two direct quotes from the lips of Jesus, but the verse in John 3:16 is only a theory of a writer. Why do Twistians and alike ignore the direct words spoken by Jesus and promote the theories of other writers if they claim to be followers of Jesus? Sounds a lot like hypocrisy. And speaking of hypocrisy, here we go, gloves are off.